Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Julie! Huh? Julie! Huh? Guess what day it is? Julie! Huh? Julie! Huh? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Anybody? Anybody? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Anybody? Anybody? Mike. Huh? What day is it, Mike? Huh? Woo-hoo! Mike. Huh? What day is it, Mike? Huh? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day!
It's hump day.
Hump day! Uh-oh. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Uh-oh. Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's hump day.
Hump day!
It's hump day.
Hump day!
DJ
What's up, guys? It's me, Crimson 60620, and yeah, I'm here. I didn't realize that I was actually live, but no worries. How's everybody doing today? It is hump day and time for the midweek breakdown. Breakdown is right because I'm tired as shit. Oh my god. So I'm going to tell you guys this, and be very honest with you. I fucking hate the wintertime. It is easily one of the worst time periods in my life. A lot of bad shit happens to me in the wintertime. And, I fucking miss the sun. I miss the fucking sun. I have 2 photo fucking lights here because I miss the sun. I miss the sun. Besides the inclement weather that a lot of people are we're having in our area, yesterday it was shit driving to work, and I miss the fucking sun. I've been keeping up with the new look, my stylist has been and shout out to my stylist. I would actually, do more broadcasts for them, but I think this is gonna be one of those things where it's just like, my motherfucking, I'm about to get some motherfucking hate watchers, which I love, and it's delicious. Here, let's just have this conversation right now. Hey, you motherfuckers that hate watch me, I know what I'm doing. I am having you guys just binge and watch and hate my shit. Because when you watch my shit and I get to argue with you in the comment sections, and it's just you totally miss the fact that I am trolling my own comment sections, then it gets my penis hard. I know. Then it is ironically the one smartass in my comments that realize, oh shit, I can have a decent conversation with this motherfucker even with the snark and shit. It's actually hilarious. And we can go back and forth in a light jabbing manner. I am telling you guys this. I am a leftist, but I am not one of these sniveling little cowards that is on the internet. I enjoy the back and forth. I was born in the fucking 80s and raised in the 90s. So I can go the rolls, the dozens, the fucking, I can go for them. I don't give a fuck. So if you're watching my channel, no, I'm sorry. I do give a fuck. It gets me wrecked to argue with people in my comment section. Especially when they have basis ideas. So please, give me more of your tears. Give me more of your spazzing out. Give me more of your sewing. I use it as lubricant to stroke my ego. Sorry for bothering you. I want to promote. No, stop. Get this shit out of here. No. Anyway. But anyway. Yeah, I am here for that. And it's fun. Fucking love it. And that's why I do the shit that I do, because I am a complete asshole. Anyway, we're gonna try to run through some shit. I'm gonna try to do 4 videos today. I know I normally only do 3, but I'm gonna try to do 4 because we're gonna have some interesting shit. And yeah, let's kind of get through this, okay? All right, cool. Like, yeah. By the way, I actually did pick up 7 Days to Die, and I've been practicing on my days when I'm not streaming. If you actually caught it, and I'm gonna actually put it up at the end of the stream. Friday night, I've started a new show, What Mel Thinks, where even though we share a city, I'm in more in the political influences. She's more in the drama type influences, the rumor mill type influences, the hood type influence, and I introduced her to politics. She's introduced me to this shit, and it's fun. We had a stream Sunday. Check it out. But that was the inaugural test stream. Our full stream is going to be Fridays at 8 p.m. So check that out. Also, if you have not done so yet, this is the thing. Of course, we have our sponsors, Dubby, and we have our memberships. So if you're watching and you are somebody on my channel that you want to actually help support the channel, we have memberships for as low as mother freaking 99 cents per month. I know. Wow. Yay. It is awesome. Being a total ass. Anyway. Yeah. So if you want to actually help out the channel, we have that here for you. And we want to make sure that you guys know what is available for you guys right now. Anyway, let's pull up some shit. Let's pull up some shit here. All right. So, let's start this off. Let's start this off. Come on, let's go. All right. So, I swear to God that there was a commission for the 1776 about pushing patriotic education in this country, about making sure that you stick to the conservatives. We see a lot of people that said you stick to the Constitution. We see a lot of conservatives with the "We the People," picture as their profile, and they have something called the Constitution. And notice it says, "We the people," in order to gain a more perfected union. They don't believe that. They don't believe that. You want to know why? Because they're going for, which is essentially a want-to-be tin pot dictator. I know, bad. What haven't we said about the orange buffoon, Donald J. Trump, that has not been said? What if I was to tell you, and I know this video is going around, so what if I was to tell you that he literally allowed for his lawyers to argue in court that a president can do whatever he wants, including political assassinations? So let's go to this video. This is by PBS, so editor, make sure video via PBS. We're gonna actually go through this video and make sure we credit them. Let's go.
Of what you're arguing, I understand your position to be that a president is immune from any official act that he takes as president, even if that action is taken for an unlawful or unconstitutional purpose. Is that correct?
So what the judge asked, in case you didn't hear, was, can a president be charged with a legal act, can be charged with a crime, and any act that he commits is basically, in charge of the service, and discharge of the service. Can he be tried for it? And this is a Trump sycophant lawyer. Well, I guess he's doing what he needs to do to make sure his client kind of, gets off. But let's go.
With an important exception, which is that if the president is impeached and convicted by the United States Senate in a, proceeding that reflects, widespread political consensus, that would authorize the prosecution under the plain language of the impeachment judgment clause. Okay. So yes, with that exception.
So he literally just said that the president, only way he can be convicted of a crime is to literally be found impeached and convicted in a political trial. Not a criminal, a political trial. So in other words, if the House doesn't impeach and the Senate doesn't convict, then the president can do whatever he wants? What type of shit is that? But let's go. Let's hear the rest of it.
So it seems to me that there are a lot of things that might not go through that process because it's quite a cumbersome process that requires the action of a whole branch of government that has a lot of different people involved. And so in your view, could a president sell pardons or sell military secrets? Those are official acts, right? It's an official act to grant a pardon. It's an official act to communicate with a foreign government. And such a president would not be subject to criminal prosecution?
Now, here's the thing. This is shit that Trump has been accused of doing. Not necessarily that they brought up on charges, but the whole submarine thing that he told to the Australian diplomat, or no, the Australian businessman, that the Australian diplomat was like, yeah, we should know that shit. The whole selling pardons. I mean, like, it wasn't as if that Trump had the Saudis renting a floor of his hotel, even though they didn't stay there, for the duration of his term. This is some shit that if it was anybody other than the last name Trump, for these MAGA fucking religious goddamn cultists, oh no, they didn't know this person needs to go to jail. Oh no, this person needs to do this. So yeah. So fuck them. But let's go.
The sale of pardons example is an excellent example because there were allegations about a sale of a pardon, essentially, when it came to President Clinton's pardon of Mark Rich, and the U.S. DOJ carefully.
Ghoul? Who am I talking to? Your mother.
And for the very reasons we've emphasized in our brief, decided not to prosecute President Clinton with that because it raised concerns about whether or not a president can be prosecuted for his official acts. There's actually an op-ed in the National Review from Andrew McCarthy.
But your position is
lying under oath, perjury, is something completely different than saying that a motherfucker can go out and kill his political rival. But they haven't gotten to that yet. They've gotten to what a crime that is in the Constitution, which is giving aid and comfort to the enemy, or, treason by selling secrets. That's treason. If you're selling secrets to another country, that's aid and comfort to our enemy, which is in the definition of the Constitution, treason. So you're saying that in the Constitution, because treason is listed out, because it's not a impeachment and conviction, then you can't try a president for that, even though that's the one crime in the motherfucking Constitution that has a reason, definition, and sentence. But let's go.
That he can't be prosecuted for that unless he's impeached.
Yeah, that was, as long as it's an official act. I mean, in certain cases, purely private conduct under Clinton against Jones, he'd be subject to prosecution for that as long as he's not in office. But as long as it's official act.
Could a president order SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival? That's an official act in order to SEAL Team 6?
He would have to be and would speedily be, impeached and convicted before the criminal prosecution.
That's not how that works. Impeachment and conviction are political trials. There is no motherfucking exemption, no motherfucking reason, he has to be done this in order to be. Impeachment has to be done for the removal of office. By this motherfucker's logic, even if he was impeached and removed from office, that president, by his law and his action, can still say, well, I was a president when it happened. You still can't get me. That's how fucking stupid this argument is. And we'll get to more of it. Let's go.
But if you weren't, there would be no criminal prosecution, no criminal liability for that?
Chief Justice's opinion in Marbury against Madison and our constitutional tradition and the plain language of the impeachment judgment clause all clearly presuppose that what the founders were concerned about was not.
I asked you a yes or no question. Could a president who ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival who was not impeached, would he be subject to criminal prosecution?
If he were impeached and convicted first.
This shit is stupid. This is akin to somebody saying, I'm going to smack the shit out of this person over here. They beat the shit out of him with the same bloody tool and say, anybody else got something to say? That's akin to it. That's what this is akin to. What are you talking about, dude? By definition, every individual in this country and interacting with this country are subject to its laws. That's in the Constitution. Not only do you have rights for people that is in this country, but people that are reacting to the country. That is in the Constitution. But these sycophants, and again, he may not be a sycophant. Let me not tar him with that brush. But the fact that he is the lawyer and he's making this argument lets me know that he's trying to do everything he can to get his motherfucking client off. I don't know if he believes this shit. I definitely, ethically, could not continue with being this motherfucker's attorney. If he's asking me to make an argument like this, I cannot ethically be this person's attorney. Because that's taking the Constitution and wiping my ass with it and then cleaning my fucking snowy boots with it. But let's continue.
So your answer is
no. My answer is qualified yes. There's a political process that would have to occur under the structure of our Constitution, which would require impeachment and conviction by the Senate. In these exceptional cases, as the OLC memo itself points out from the Department of Justice, you'd expect a speedy impeachment and conviction. But what the founders were much more worried about than using criminal prosecution to discipline presidents was what James Madison calls in Federalist Number 47, the newfangled and artificial treasons. They were.
And what the founders were incredibly sensitive about, incredibly concerned about, is having another fucking king. You know who can order the death of somebody, their political rival, without any type of, resolution, unless the motherfucking other lawmakers decide to stand up to him? A king. That's the thing. The U.S. didn't want another king. You're arguing for a fucking royalist position, dog. And I know he's smarter than that. I know he's smarter than that. But what he's arguing in, if the fucking, legislative body is okay with it, then we have another king. And it's not even that they have to be party loyalists. No. Because just like they say the communists did, what Joseph Stalin did, when they pointed out a motherfucking enemy, he went after them. But let's go.
We're much more concerned about the abuse of the criminal process for political purposes to disable the presidency from factions and political opponents. And of course, that's exactly what we see in this case.
I've asked you a series of hypotheticals about criminal actions that could be taken by a president and could be considered official acts. And I've asked you, would such a president be subject to criminal prosecution if he's not impeached or convicted?
Requirement.
And your answer, your yes or no answer is no.
I believe I said qualified yes if he's impeached and convicted first. We may be saying the same
question
thing.
was, okay, so he's not impeached or convicted. Let's put that aside. You're saying a president could sell pardons, could sell military secrets, could order SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival.
Sale of military secrets strikes me as something that might not be held to be an official act. The sale of pardons is something that's come up historically and was not prosecuted.
But your brief says that communicating with an executive branch agency is an official act.
By his motherfucking brief, taking a shit is a presidential act. Pissing is a presidential act. Stroking it is a presidential act. Well, if it's a presidential act, the president answers to the voters. So we should be able to tell these motherfuckers to do. No, what this is a grab for power. But let's look. Let's go.
And communicating with a foreign government is an official act. That's what presidents do.
They're very strong situations. Those are very strong examples of potential official acts. If you look at what Chief Justice Mitchell said against Madison, he said, rising directly under Article 2, Section 1, that the courts, that the president's official acts are, quote, never examinable by the courts. And he says it like 4 different times on pages 164 to 1.
Yeah, but it's like, no, they are. If that is the case, if the president's acts are never subject to the courts, hey, Republicans, the fact that Biden wanted to get rid of student loans, you should have shut the fuck up. Because, again, that was subject to the courts. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. That's not how that works, Chief. Either we have 3 co-equal branches of government, or you have a fucking dictator, or you have it where the Supreme Courts, Biden can just say, fuck it, Roe versus Wade is a law of the land. Do you really want to go down that path? Biden can say, fuck it, SEAL Team 6, Donald Trump is causing an issue. Let's remove him from the roster. Not just Donald Trump. Let's remove all these conservatives from the roster because they're political opponents. Do you really want to give a president that power? But they're political opponents, and I mean, like, I'm just keeping the ones that's going to vote for me. But let's go.
Well, let me ask you about that then, counsel, because your position is, as I understand it, if a president is impeached and convicted by Congress, then he is subject to criminal prosecution, correct?
That would be a necessary, said to prosecution.
Is that a yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So therefore, he's not completely and absolutely immune, because under the procedure that you concede, he can be prosecuted if there's an impeachment and conviction by the Senate.
Very, very formidable structural check against the astonishing and radical action of prosecuting a former president with official acts.
But you're conceding that presidents can be criminally prosecuted under certain circumstances.
Yes.
Specifically, if they're impeached and convicted, I think that's the plain language of the impeachment judgment clause.
And isn't that also a concession that a president can be criminally prosecuted for an official act?
She got
Because
him.
presidents can be impeached for official acts.
Under those unique circumstances.
Correct. But given that you're conceding that presidents can be criminally prosecuted under certain circumstances, doesn't that narrow the issues before us to can a president be impeached? Can a president be prosecuted without first being impeached and convicted? All of your other arguments seem to fall away. Your separation of powers arguments fall away. Your policy arguments fall away. If you can.
So in all of this, we have the separations of power. What I just mentioned, the 3 co-equal branches of government. This comes down to, can a president be charged for a crime? That's it. But let's let the judge cook. She's almost finished.
Concede that a president can be criminally prosecuted under some circumstances.
Disagree with that. The Constitution in the Article 2 Section 1 Vesting Clause, as interpreted very clearly by Chief Justice Marshall and Marbury against Madison, says Article 3 courts lack jurisdiction to engage in examination of the president's official acts. That's
But
been
you just
reaffirmed by
conceded that Article 3 courts can do so if he's been impeached and convicted.
the Constitution makes a carefully balanced, explicit exception to that principle in the impeachment judgment clause. So the problem for the separation of powers, the Constitution does this in many other situations where it engages in a balancing. What the framers were most concerned about was not the notion that the president would never be prosecuted for things that outrageous.
Yeah, he's just talking shit right now. So, yeah. There is nobody that is above the motherfucking Constitution. No one person is above the Constitution. We don't have kings. I seem to remember a motherfucking document coming out, the Declaration of War, saying that we don't want another motherfucking king. Now I get it. Some people, they need their messiah and they think Trump is their messiah, even though when they presented Trump as their messiah to people who don't believe in this shit, it turns them the fuck off. But in the end, Trump is not your messiah. He is not a king. He is not a dictator. You can't be mad because, but the Democrats won. Tough shit. Suck all of the dicks and act like a responsible, intelligent adult. If you want your side to win, demand more of your people. Don't just demand for them to say, I'm going to take care of you so you don't have to think. No, if you want to make me believe that the Republicans are some sort of God sent, first you better prove you're fucking God. Secondly, you better prove that they don't have ill intent for everybody else but themselves. Stop acting as if we should bow down to your chosen motherfucking orange Cheeto ass motherfucker because your feelings was hurt that a darkie was in the fucking White House for 8 years. Because that's where a lot of this shit comes from. We want to take the presidency back. From who? A fucking neoliberal that fucking played more into what Mitt Romney would have been? You were mad. I get it. You were mad because you felt like things were changing too quickly, too much. All of the people that you once can push in the closet and bully were there and they were coming out. And then the colors got all kinds of uppity because they had somebody that was half white in the White House. Instead of demanding more from your politicians, You got mad because some fool who told you years ago, if I was to ever run for president, I would do it as a Republican because those people are easy to trick. He told you, and you fell for it. All because your feelings was hurt. Suck it up, Buttercup. Anyway, oh God. These people would just be like, I don't want nobody to tell me what to do. I don't want the government to tell me to do. But worship Trump like he's the second coming of Christ. Anyway, shit. I'm gonna cut this segment here. Like, share, and subscribe, and all that other good shit. Thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs down if you don't. Leave your comment so I can stroke myself with your tears. Anyway, cut this segment. It's just irritating. Instead of talking about policy, most of these people are talking about how, oh, it's not like how it was when I grew up. Oh, it's not like, you don't want policy. You want to feel safe that this fool is your leader. And instead of the normal rob you blind, you would rather sit back in the comfort of, well, I mean, like, he's just like me. He talks like it is. I know some of the most diehard Republicans that talk more intelligent than Donald Trump. He just makes you mad and feels good because you're mad at somebody. And instead of saying, yo, we gonna make life better for you, he tells you who to hate. And what good does that do you? What good is hating a specific group of people doing for you? Instead of just satisfying your fucking id. Do you still have the same shitty job? The same terrible ass boss? Do you still struggle with the same fucking pay? But you know who to hate? Oh, but he made the country better. He didn't even make it great for you. Those uppity, what do some people say? Those uppity transgenders, they came out more in force, dog, as a response to you hating on them. The cities are burning because people got tired of your shit. Damn. A lot of these conservatives, their whole recommendation is shut up and be quiet. Deal with it. Well, I tell you the same goddamn thing. Shut up, be quiet, and deal with it. And if you don't like it, leave my country. Because the concept of my country is for my country to be better. If you want to be stuck in the 1950s and the 1960s and all this other bullshit, you leave my country. Because one of the things about the motherfucking Constitution is something called the elastic cause, where it's supposed to grow and become more of a perfect union. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. This shit is just weird. But anyway, let's get to the next video. Fuck. All right. So let's get to this video. First of all, I want to say thank you. If you've taken the time to watch this video clip from the segment, thank you. Hit that like button. If you're watching it live, hit that like button. I can only show my appreciation for you guys who's watching this video right now, either on the live stream or when I cut it up and put it in a segment and say, the fact that you clicked on it has actually helped me. And the reason why I'm doing that is because the last video that I did specifically about this son of a bitch, well, I had so much tears and whining in my comment section that I was hard for a week. Anyway, let's talk about the coronary. Let's see how this intro goes. There we go.
It's because of your and so listen, that's why I'm here. All of these milk and milkies comments and milk wagons and all of that, it hurts my feelings.
So yeah, we're not gonna play this song because reasons. All right, here we go. Let's hear what he has to say.
Everyone, Jeremy here from the Quartering. Apparently we're ringing in a thirsty 2024, whether it was the stupid, pointless calendar gate on the right-wing influencer circuit going on Twitter all week last week, or the cake gate going on Twitter over the weekend. Now we have another fresh batch of articles from milk truck delivery driver Lily from AT&T, spawning 3 or 4 new articles whining about people finding her attractive.
Wasn't this bastard just complaining about women on Twitch being attractive? This is somebody that has no morals. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna put that clip about him saying that he's just grifts and he's gonna ride this grift till the wheels fall off. I'm gonna probably put it right here when I do the playback. And not only that, I'm also put how just no, I'm gonna save that clip for later. Let's go.
And why her giant chest had absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with her success. Look, again, I don't understand. Like, you don't get to have it both ways.
Jeremy, no. The same person that bragged about putting his wife's tits in the thumbnail, the reason why his channel got popular the way it is. You cannot say this shit with a straight fucking face and be serious, dog. You can't. That's not how that works. That's
not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
All right. There were 4 or 5 different articles spawned this week. Here's a variety. AT&T's Lily faced harassment online. This is a brand new article. Here's another new article. AT&T's Lily faced harassment online until she got a call of support from Flo. Yeah, I don't think Flo, the actress that played Flo, was getting the same kind of harassment that this chick was. This is what, look, again, you're allowed to have gigantic, delicious milkers, okay?
again, 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, he was talking about Twitch streamers. And this isn't even a critique on him. I'm sorry. You, his audience that sat back and came at me for making a video about his stupid ass because he pisses in the basement when he gets depressed about his wife going for pizza. Put her on a Twitch stream. As a matter of fact, I think she had a Twitch channel. And it's a problem. I normally don't criticize the audience as far as enabling this shit. But this shit is his audience. But let's go.
You know, you're allowed to show them off. But what you're not allowed to do is pretend like they didn't help you in your career. Otherwise, why would you be dressed like this?
What?
I mean, give me a break. All right. I mean, I don't understand. So look, I mean, you're putting these pictures out there. I'm not putting these pictures out there. You're putting these pictures out.
What's up, Icon? This is the same person that was just complaining about the Twitch meta. Where is this? Oh, but think about the children. Bullshit this is.
Out there. You're allowed to not be harassed. You're allowed to not have people, touch you or give you inappropriate comments, things like.
Whoa. Jeremy has had some evolution. Mind you, remember why he got kicked out of the Magic the Gathering tournaments. Remember that shit. Remember. He's had some evolution. Shit. Who would have thunk it? A Neanderthal has actually had some sort of evolution.
That, like, that's fine. I agree with that. But what you aren't allowed to do is first of all, control how people react to it. All right. If you're walking down the street and I see, something, I'm going to look.
And in that, Jeremy, we are in agreement. A pair of big natural titties. Oh my God. Yes. Awesome. We will agree on that. And looking, nothing is wrong with looking. Staring and drooling and that's a problem, but let's go.
I'm not going to apologize for now. I'm not going to go over there and go, mommy, daddy want milk. I'm not going to do that. That's gross.
He's not going to do it anymore. But let's go.
Okay. That's not okay. But then to have all these think pieces come out. Are you kidding me? And first of all, Flo, I mean, look, she's fine and all, but they're not even in the same ballpark.
I mean, Flo kind of also had some, she still got some, Flo's just been a spokesmodel for like 25 years. When she was younger, fuck, I still reckon like a Diana. I've been watching too much Hellsinger Bridge.
This is just yet another person who's like personally insecure because she knows why she made it. And she wants to pretend like, if she was an A cup, she would have been just as successful, which is just not true. You don't have to apologize for that. And again, I will say again, guys can't be walking up to you and being, that's gross and it's stupid.
And we agree on that. No, your right to swing your fist ends at my motherfucking nose or her breast line. So, Jeremy, what's your problem with Twitch and their meta?
Miliana Vantrub, the actress who plays AT&T spokesperson Lily Adams, revealed that Stephanie Courtney, who famously played Progressive Flo, helped her navigate online harassment that she received about her body. She portrayed AT&T's Lily since 2013, so for 11 years now. And Courtney has been appearing as Flo for 15. Maybe, I mean, I've never thought Flo was attractive, but different strokes for different folks. You can pretty much be very, very, very certain that there aren't any pictures of Flo with like 2/3 of her tit out. In a new interview.
It's out there, trust me. Yes, it's out there. Oh, it's out there.
With New York Times, Vantrub, who's 36, recalled Courtney at 53 reaching out to her in the summer of 2020 when she started appearing in AT&T's ads. Upon her comeback, social media users started referring to Vantrub as mommy milkers due to her chest size, she remembers. The outlet claims that people spammed AT&T's social media posts with lewd declarations and emojis of glasses of milk.
He thinks this shit is funny. And ironically, look, this is the shit that I'm talking about. Here, let's do this. Let's do this. This is from Jeremy's own channel.
Alex Jones.
Let's do this. Let's just look at some of the video titles he has. So Jeremy, you have a problem with women showing their titties? You have a problem with it? Oh, there's no problem with it. It's no problem with it, right? It's no problem with it, right? But you talk about OnlyFans models destroyed. It's no problem with it, right? You have but it's a problem. Where was it? What was the video that I really did? That I just did. Oh God, it's been that long? Oh no, he just puts out 17 videos a day. Conservative milkers fool simps into getting gifted again. It's funny when it's not about the principles, it's just about making his people rage mad. He literally makes videos. This is the video we doing now. Like, literally, get the fuck out of here. This is just fucking unreal. This is unfucking real. All he cares about is motherfucking making videos for his incel, insecure audience. And you know what? Thank you guys. Because I'm going to make sure that I let you know that I made another video about your hero. And you know what? I'll stop making videos about your heroes when I reach the same amount of videos that he did about Brie Larson. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, and all that other good shit. I'm cutting this video segment here right after I say thank you for watching. Enjoy your day. Love it. Love it. Fucking love it. I fucking love it. Yeah. Whew. Alright. Oh God. Alright, so yeah. Anyway, guys. Whew. That's gonna be fun. Let me see something. Just looking at this. I have to do that later. Just so much shit to do, so little time. Like I said, I have been working on doing more of the practice shit for my 7 Days to Die. Also, it's like a few other games I don't want to actually get into and work on. I fucking realized, okay, all right, so I'll say this. I realized something today. As much as I hate my shit job. I was able to carry over about 14 and a half hours from last year because call center and they wouldn't give me my time off. And even later on in the month, I would have had more, but I got 2 days off. I have 150 hours of PTO that is coming up this year. And oh my God. Oh my God. Besides conventions that I already have planned out. By the way, I'm going to be in Peoria Con on the first weekend in March. And I know it's kind of one of those things. I'm going to be in Anime Midwest in the first week of July. I know. The guy who runs it is a piece of shit. Welcome to corporate America type bullshit. So, I don't know. It's like, do I work for pieces of shit on a 9 to 5? Is that more legitimate, or do I sell my shit at conventions? This whole purity culture type shit. This whole, you have to be 100% pure in order to make a living. And a lot of the people that feel this way don't understand that there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. Yeah, that's kind of fucked. And I get it. And I get it. When you have a face to put on the fuck ups or the fucking bad behavior on somebody, it's easier to see a mindless, soulless corporation how they're screwing up people. But I say that not as an excuse, but it's one of those things where just like, yeah, I'm fucking hurting somebody either way. Either working for the job that I have now, working for Google full time, that I'm fucking somebody over in any type of way, albeit indirectly. Hell, shit, I may just be fucking myself over with maintaining my own oppressions. Did I say that I hated capitalism, Jake? Jake, did I say I hated capitalism? That's not what I said. Oh wow, you're so fucking stupid that you didn't really understand what I just said. But it's okay. You know, comprehension is a thing that you seem not to have. But okay. Okay, wow. Wow, thank you. We have the dumbass of the night. Wow. Did you just not listen? I don't know. That's just... Anyway. Fuck. Wow. That leads me to my next segment.
What?
Great. You have given me the opportunity to go into a new segment. Thank you. All right, guys. So this is a segment that I wanted to cover. I kind of watched this video before, but we are going to be going over this video, and it's kind of speaks to some of the shit that I have a problem with. I have a problem with grifters. Now, say what you will, right wing or left wing, not that I'm a fucking centrist or anything like that, but I hate grifters. People that use what they quote unquote believe in to motherfucking get over. People that sit back and say, well, racism bad, and they get money or they get, you know, a position where they get to speak about it, and then they use it and turn it on how to get the bag. Now, maybe it's just me and my position in life and the way I look at shit, or maybe because I'm just a cheap bastard. But I don't like opulence. I don't like it if you're somebody who needs to just be opulent with shit, whether it's right wing or left wing. I mean, like, how could you be the biggest political streamer on YouTube, on Twitch, and then basically a spoiled rich kid? But I digress. Let's talk about this video that I saw in the Majority Report. Let's go.
What did you do to kind of flesh out your story here? And
Sure.
what did you want to convey by making it longer and speaking about this particular time in your life and growing up and how it informs you today?
I wanted to talk about, because what I saw happening, in my opinion, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, what I see with kind of a left in its, as one friend said, embryonic stages right now, that really comes out of, in my opinion, more so the 2016 Bernie Sanders campaign. There are these two cultures that kind of fight against each other that I saw coming up in heavy music. And those are the cultures of deconstruction, which is the culture of no, and the culture of authenticity, which says, like, you know, you can't be part of my movement because you're not cool enough or you're not wearing.
So this is something that we've actually talked about on the channel before. If you're in a fucking group, and the most important thing about the group is you're not pure enough, you're not cool enough, you aren't this enough, no matter what you believe, no matter the points that you're putting up, because we're treating this as a social club, then fuck you, you're not a real one. That is incredibly disabling to your movement. Do you believe in it? Or do you just want to have it as a social club? But let's continue.
The right thing, or you're not saying the right things. And I felt like those two things were kind of working against each other to nullify the movement, to grow beyond kind of a small niche milieu into the mainstream. So I juxtaposed the left with kind of the early stages of hardcore punk music.
And what were some of the, not to spoil the whole book, but what were some of the main contrasts and connections that you found?
One of the things that I found is like co-optation is going to happen to your movement as you're kind of struggling for authenticity and realism. And you have to ask yourself a bigger question, which is, are you, and I say this in the book, are you raging at the machine, against the machine, or are you raging to be a part of the machine? And one of the things that I kind of came to the conclusion, and talking to the guys at the live show the other night, they didn't necessarily disagree with it too much, that almost this music becomes like a cottage industry for people that can't get into the mainstream. Because once they get access into the mainstream, they don't mind playing all these corporate festivals, right? They don't mind playing Vans Warped Tour. They don't mind.
So that's an interesting point about a lot of what you see. And especially here with the left on YouTube. Are you against the machine? Are you just fucking raging just for the point of it? Or are you really just trying to get inside the motherfucking group so you can actually say, tut, now you people who on the outside are fucking bad? And we remember covering shit like this. And again, the one person that I've made videos on repeatedly on the left is FD Signifier. Raging point after point, cornbread tube, this is cornbread tube this, cornbread tube that. But as soon as this motherfucker gets to a point where I'm making a living off of this shit, I need to protect it. How many times? And here, let's do this. Let's kind of do this. And I just didn't have this prepared, but let's see if I can actually have this, cause community tab. If it's important for you to motherfucking make a point of what you're saying, if that's important, why is it that you keep releasing videos? Because you don't get full monetization. If that's what's important to you. If your messages was important to you, but hey, I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. Because if you mention this shit, then you hating. And the thing about it is, here, we're going to see more examples of that. Let's go.
And getting sponsorships and playing these huge corporate venues. So what was the real meaning of what they were trying to do? And then you look at a band like Nirvana. Sorry if I'm all over the place. And Nirvana, in my opinion, we can talk about grunge and how it's not a genre all day long. That's probably another show that Sam would probably prefer to be on. But they're hardcore punk. They have their roots in hardcore punk. I mean, when Kurt Cobain kills himself, Dave Grohl picks up Pat Smear from the Germs, and Chris Novoselic joins my friends at Flipper, two seminal hardcore punk bands. But you change the name and of the genre of music, and it's more easily consumable to the masses. And what you ended up seeing with hardcore punk music through grunge is kind of, we'll take the aesthetic of this music that's supposed to be so subversive and anti-establishment, and we'll sell anti-establishment. Yeah. And now you've commodified it. And
well, Kurt hated that. I mean, I was a big Nirvana fan in my teenage years. I read Heavier Than Heaven.
You know what? I've never listened to a Nirvana song consciously, I don't believe. And don't get me wrong, it's just some of the shit that I've never been exposed to. I don't think I've listened to a Nevada song, so don't quote me on that. But I also didn't realize that Flash Gordon was a fucking Queen son. I knew Queen from watching the Highlanders, like the series. And that's not even the real Princess of the Universe son. I knew that, but some music, I didn't grow up with it, so until I became an adult, I didn't, get outside of my box. But so let's go.
And there's a difference between nihilism and anarchy, or basically being a rebellious artist or someone speaking to these kinds of things. Because Kurt, for example, was very pro gay, pro these social movements, but also deeply resentful of the capitalist structures that force them into certain boxes. And I guess that is punk to a degree, but then
he didn't mind the record, the major label deal. I mean, he could have stayed at Sub Pop.
And
right?
you can see that tension, I guess, between wanting that success and then also hating yourself for wanting that success too, that he embodied.
I mean, the bigger question is, it's why do people have to swear a vow of poverty to be authentic, right?
This is true. So one of the things that I hope to do with my channel, grow my channel and shit like that, is specifically, I want to get successful enough to move past some of the financial struggles I have, even with having a quote unquote good job. But when it comes to opulence, give me a motherfucking minivan that has 4 wheels and an engine that runs, so I can take my art shit with me. Give me a motherfucking home where, shit ain't falling apart. I don't need some big mansion. I just need enough to motherfucking not stress from, I don't know, just basic shit. Hell, the vacation I need is a vacation with me and probably 2... Oh, shit, put that... Yeah, no, let's go. Look, a video.
And that's something that happens in our world as well, where if you've reached a certain level of success, now you're no longer authentic. You've been sucked up by the establishment. But again, the culture of deconstruction, which I just kind of call the culture of no, and a lot of this music is just kind of anti-everything. And in the end, what was hardcore really, I mean, definitely there's aspects of people from the genre that had politics like Jello Biafra, but he doesn't represent every group or person in the scene as well. And you kind of have, if anything, kind of anti-consumerism is the biggest thing that you get out of that, which is kind of what you see still now. Like the best capitalism is anti-capitalism, right? Being able to sell anti-capitalism as this cool subversive thing. And to me, what you end up getting is your leftism, if you will, much like your punkness or realness, becomes a lifestyle brand.
So here's the thing, and this is what I was complaining about in the chat earlier. What people think is what Marx was raging against as far as capitalism is not what we have is capitalism now. You are a fucking idiot if you think that human beings will ever get rid of currency. That is not something that will fucking happen ever. You want to know why? Unless we go back to the Paleolithic era, even then we had currency. As long as there are people that specialize in shit like growing food, being doctors, being technicians, plumbers, even being motherfucking live streamers. When you can't sew your clothes as well as your fields and motherfucking make, smelt all the fucking lead and precious metals you need to be on anything from cell phones to the internet, we're going to have currency. The manipulation of that currency, the over expression of certain communities with, and I say communities, certain groups that, overwhelmingly may have hoard currency. That's what we should be fighting against. Now, does that sound more like social democracy and being a social democrat than some of these dumb fuck as we're a socialist that has a $3 million home type bullshit? Yeah, that does sound like more of a social democrat or a fucking liberal. Yes. But for those bitches who think that they can claim socialist and live as opulent as any motherfucking capitalist, how did that motherfucker put it? I'm not even gonna dignify Hassan with that response. Oops, I'm talking about Hassan. If you think that you claim socialism, but you live like any motherfucking rich person would, yeah, no. It is at that point, as motherfucking Jason Miles said, that's the guy who's doing the interview, a lifestyle brand. And yes, I am taking shots at the fucking left. The people that sit back and just act as if by claiming socialism, even though they live rich, opulent ass lives, that you're doing something when you don't want to do shit. You don't want the system to change because you want to give people something to complain about. You don't even want your motherfucking chat to vote. The least amount of civil engagement that you can do. Oh, but we're going to do community this, community that. Vote first. Let that be your stepping stone. Half of these motherfuckers in their chat can't even fucking order a pizza over the phone without getting nervous. Well, let's go.
Yeah, I think that's really clear too. In the purity test or the authenticity test that you describe, and I mean that's awesome that you explore that in your book. And what were some of the conclusions that you drew about that particular tension that can be applied to like leftists counting Bernie's houses, for example, or liberals doing so and saying that that in some way negates any of the politics?
I did recently write a piece for Damage Magazine about Ibrahim X. Kendi. And it's not necessarily about, let me pull back a little bit. I didn't want to make it about Ibrahim X. Kendi because again, with stuff like that, it could end up being like, once the bad man's gone, then the bad theory is gone. And what he's building on is something that's been around for a while, trying to be kind of a race ventriloquist. What Kendi was able to do though with anti-racism was kind of kneecap the left, in my opinion. Excuse me. And he doesn't do it by himself. He actually has help from BLM. If you think about, I think it's 2015 when Bernie's on the stump trail, he's doing a speech about Medicare and Social Security, two things that definitely greatly benefit Black people and have for some time. Before he can even start speaking, BLM gets on stage and starts yelling about racist cops. And they're pushing back against someone that they probably should be working with, since his campaign is designed to help poor and working class Black people, poor and working class everybody.
So I'm going to pause it right here and just actually take some time to say something. I have had so many discussions with people that, in my opinion, just want fucking revenge or just want to fucking feel special because they want something for them. Now, if you have watched my channel before, I have been very open and very honest about 3 things, really 4, that I think that would actually help Black people. Very honest. 1, let's get Medicare for all with the mental health component. What shocking, I know. It's almost as if people actually had health care where they didn't have to worry about paying for the shit at time of service, that they can actually have more of a healthier life. And yeah, the mental health component really goes a long fucking way. Let's talk about a universal basic income where it helps everybody. Let's talk about how the government can actually just off the back, just say, hey, let's give everybody 50 grand for housing. And if you live in a fucking home that's rented right now, how about we pay that shit off so the owner of that property can just say, you know, well, we have somebody in that house. Let's do that shit. Take care of people's medical, housing, and some sort of basic income. And if you need repairs, well, if you lose using a local contractor, your municipality can actually help you out. The problem with me proposing that shit to some people, well, they're not just doing it for just me. You have to look at them like, you dumb fuck. If they're universal programs, they help everybody. And this is a problem with some people. They're so goddamn caught up in their own sense of, I need to feel better than you in order to make sure that I feel like I got something. If somebody was going around passing out $1 million to 20 people on the street, and I was one of those 20, I'm not going to be mad at the other 19 motherfuckers. Somebody was going out passing around fucking $50,000 on the street. What do I look like being mad at whoever else gets it? But that's what a lot of people have the mentality. If somebody else gets something as well as I get something, well, it's not too different than I get something at all. And this is a problem in the black community. I know, because here's the problem. We have been shitted on for so long. We feel as if we're owed. Great, we are. But if it comes at, if the cost of giving us something that we need comes at the cost of making sure other people that are in need are taken care of too, that's a price I'm willing to pay. But you get these people who sit back and say, oh, but it needs to be this, it needs to be that. And he's not talking about BLM as the principle, but he was talking about the organization. And it's using somebody's fucking hatred, using their resentment to bolster your own fucking pockets. Not for the good of other people, but to bolster your own pockets. Again, it is a reason why I bring up FD signifier. It's a reason why I bring up cornbread too. It's a reason why I bring up all of these other motherfuckers that sit back and use your resentment, your motherfucking feeling of being an outcast, and say, well, everybody else is against us. Come in the group. By the way, give me your money. That's the stupidest shit. And then, not only give me your money, shit ain't gonna change, so you don't have to do anything but give me your money and give me your time and give me your attention. Yeah, but let's continue.
But it doesn't have, to them, a racialized agenda. And the Democratic Party is able to see that and take that and use it in spades. And Kendi, in his How to Be an Anti-Racist book, and I think there's a little bit of true believer in him. I don't think he's a straight up charlatan that's, like a carnival barker. What he's able to do is say, there are these.
But that's the most dangerous kind, though. People that believe a little bit, but also want to get that shit because they justify the shit. I have no doubt that people like motherfucking Hassan Piker believe that socialism is best. But he's so fucking blinded to the fact that, hey, I'm a good person, and I say I'm a socialist, so that makes me a good person. He doesn't see the shit that he's doing that's fucking up everything else by telling his chat not to do shit. By the organization BLM, it's like, yeah, we want to do this. And not just making sure there's change. right now, you can go on many of these fucking Reddit posts or motherfucking blogs where it says, "What we shouldn't do anything." How many YouTubers that want accelerationism, want shit to be bad, want shit to be worse, so people can rise up and play fucking LARP Revolution instead of making the marketable change that we can make right now? And it's not just the motherfucking live streamers. There are people right now who sit back and look at Joe Biden's presidency as if it was a second term of Trump. Not the hundreds of millions of dollars, or is it up to billions of dollars that has been forgiven with student loans. Not the changes in the motherfucking NLRB. Not the motherfucking actually getting out of fucking Afghanistan. But they want to look at Joe Biden because we have a 24 motherfucking hour news cycle that shit happens day and day and day and day and day, but it doesn't happen quick enough. So it's a problem. Again, it's not just the fucking immature ass live streamers that do this shit. But it's people that are playing on your motherfucking, it's not happening quick enough. It's not, motherfuckers, it took generations to get where we are. And histories don't happen as a fucking one long motherfucking just, it happens like this, it happens like this, it happens like this. Fucking change stops and starts. Sometimes it goes back, sometimes it leaps forward. And again, some of the most dangerous people are not the grifters. They're the people that actually believe that they have it right. But they want to at least fit their more well-being into it. But let's continue.
Conjoined twins, and it's capitalism and racism. And you can't be an anti-capitalist without being an anti-racist. But the basis of the book is about his spiritual journey into anti-racism, not his spiritual journey into Marxism.
Mm.
And it's kind of about the hearts and minds of white people. Ta-Nehisi Coates recently said something along the lines of, if you can't accept someone's humanity, there's no bit of legislation that will fix that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You're trying to say the Civil Rights Act doesn't mean anything unless all the white people in the world feel a certain way about me. Abe Lincoln couldn't do the Emancipation Proclamation only until he accepted that black people were human beings, needed to be respected.
So, and like, you know, some of the shit that Ta-Nehisi Coates writes, like he does make some great Black Panther stories. But here's the thing. You don't have to like me. Hell, I think I've said it enough during this whole stream. I have people that watch me that hate watch me. Don't give a fuck. But you will not stop me. You will not get in my motherfucking way. You can even lightly not respect me. Not disrespect me, but not respect me. I don't care. As long as you give me the motherfucking equal playing ground, I'm all for it. Because success demands respect, not liking. Oh, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean you have to like it. But if I'm successful, you won't look up to me, motherfucker. But it's so many of these people that want to be accepted for them personally in order to feel like they succeeded. Again, I don't give a fuck one way or iota of you accepting me as a person. Because I know there is some shit about me you're not gonna like. The fact that my penis is bigger than yours, the fact that I fucked your mother, and your father was clapping while I was going at it. Anyway, I was gonna cut that out, but I'm gonna leave that one in. the fact that I can speak more eloquently than you can without using profanity, you're not going to accept me for 100% of me, but I will have equal rights. And I give out equal rights and lefts. These hands are ready to eat for everybody. Okay, I'm being an asshole. You don't have to like me, but I will demand equal rights. And I said equal. I don't demand to be have more rights than what you are. And I tell you this, we can play in the mud together. So if you think that your rights, I don't have the right to call you this, go ahead. But when I start getting in the dirt with your ass, we're going to have some fun. Anyway, let's go.
To a certain level.
Yeah.
I don't really care about what's in the hearts and minds of white people. I care about the economic stability of over 40 million Black people.
Yeah, it is segmenting and divorcing, racial equality and liberation, I should say, is probably the better word for it, right? From systems of politics and systems of change and revolution. It's like, this is at least in reference to the Coates argument that you're describing here. It's much more individualized, atomized. It's emotional as opposed to being like direct results of capitalism, colonialism, structures that made things this way. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is your assessment that really hamstrings efforts of liberation when you frame things in that way?
Yeah, because first of all, you're always going to play the oppression Olympics. I've never seen a winner at the oppression Olympics, and sorry.
And to some people, this may sound almost right wing, but it's not. It's not. The fact is, I'm gonna be very honest with you. In here, let's bring it in close. There's gonna be some people that's not gonna like you for you being you. They're not gonna like a part of your identity. They're not gonna like the way that you look. They're not gonna like what you believe, the fact that you don't believe. That's something that's gonna actually happen. And if you're looking for rights based on somebody liking you, have you met humans? Rights are demanded. Rights are required. And rights should be equal. And I know I have them in my audience, my transgender brothers and sisters, my homosexual, bisexual, and pans brothers and sisters. I get it. You don't want to be denigrated for a part of who you are. I get it. And non-binaries too, yeah. You guys get what I mean. But when you make it a requirement for somebody to accept you as a right, instead of accepting your right to exist, I have to ask you, are you looking for acceptance in the wrong place? You are important to me. The parts that make up your identity, it's important as the fact that what type of shirt you have on. And I need you to understand that there are going to be people that want to give you your rights, but not like your decisions. There are people that are going to want to, say, okay, we're going to leave them alone. We're not going to bother them. But not be okay who you choose to be or who you have no choice in being. And I say this to the left that uses spaces in order to motherfucking, not because you ideologically want to form together, but because you feel like you're an outcast, so that's the only place you can actually go. Don't look for validation from some of these people. you will never win, because they will hold that validation over you in order to make sure they hold you under their thumb, and not give you your rights. And I know you're probably thinking like, what does this straight man has to say about it? Yeah. I may know a little bit of something about people not liking a certain aspects of you, but still would give you your rights. I may know a little bit about that. I don't know why, but I may know a little bit about that. And I get it if you're part of the younger generation that have had guardrails. I'm not going to say fully protected, because, people were still shit. But they have guardrails versus some of the shit that we had to deal with in the 90s. I get if you're not used to it. But you can't expect everybody to accept your decisions, or who you are, what you believe, or what you don't believe. The left is not a political movement of outcasts. The left is a political movement looking to change the world for the betterment of people. And you shouldn't be here if you are only here because you're an outcast. But let's continue.
And sorry. And then what happens is when you get away from the economic model, what you'll find is these people end up winning in the corporate sphere. And that's really what Kendi was able to do with anti-racism. You also see it with Robin DiAngelo Kelly early on. I don't know if she's still the player that she once was in the.
Well, that's literally a white person who is framing anti-racism around the sensibilities of white people.
Kendi's isn't much different, right? It's about, we have to fix the hearts and minds of these people, because if we don't get into the hearts and minds of these people, if they don't see me as a blah, 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 then we can never really tackle this thing called capitalism. And I don't believe that. When we integrated schools, it wasn't because all the white people felt okay about it, right?
Yeah.
It took state power to get in there and do it. So to assume that economic freedom is going to come from all oppressive people saying, these cats are okay, it's just silly to think that way. But because of the way our media works as well, that's kind of the narrative that we have, right? Martin Luther King's speech at the March on Washington isn't about economic freedom, which it is. It's about the acceptance of a colorblind world. And that's not what it was all about.
And this is a great point that he picks up. The fact that people forget King was a socialist. People forget that Martin Luther King, and his birthday's coming up. So I guess I'm going to do my annual go over the drum major instinct speech. In that speech, King talks about his interaction with prison guards. He literally has the conversation where he's saying, your kids are going to the same shitty ass schools that our kids are going to. You're getting the same fucked up ass pay. You may not like me, you may not like our movement, but we're here to help you. All while he was in jail. Again, it's not about to be colorblind or blind to different motherfucking, hatreds or bigotries that people have. It's not to be, oh yeah, you're just going to be a capitalist reductionist. It is literally saying that, hey, I may not fully accept your choices, but I accept that you're a person that deserves rights, and we're all fucked unless we stick together. But let's continue.
So these guys that kind of live in this past, an almost imagined past, especially people with like Ta-Nehisi Coates. Originally in that piece, I had a very large part about Coates, but it's 2,000 words. You can only get so much in there, because I don't think you can really talk about Kendi, BLM without talking about the rise of Ta-Nehisi Coates as well. He's kind of an integral character in that. Toure Reed talks about it extensively in Towards Freedom. I advise everybody to read that book. But he's kind of a wannabe Baldwin in a time where Baldwin doesn't make that much sense. So this idea that you have to
from the shit that I've actually saw from Baldwin, the different stories, I remember watching I Ain't Your Nigga. Even Baldwin didn't push this whole idea of, you know, only pay attention to me as a person, accept me as a person. He was more accept me as having my rights. And again, it's one of those things where it's just like, it's a fine line. I mean, we went over Baldwin stuff. We have went over Baldwin stuff. We went over the interviews that he did. And Baldwin he's forgotten a lot of, in some circles, of how he was, again, he called for our rights and then made the argument about accepting me as a person. But he called for the rights more than anything. But let's go.
Humanize these people to understand their plight, and only then can we work towards a more just society. It sounds nice in a Hallmark movie, I guess, but the reality of it is I'd rather have, you know, economic policy. I'd rather have jobs programs. I'd rather be trying to abolish the conditions that cause impoverished urban cores and massive amounts of homelessness. So that's only going to come through policy, not from winning the hearts and minds of racists.
Yeah, I mean, I to return to Coates, because we praised him on this program recently for speaking out, calling Israel an apartheid state. I mean, and the praise was not, I mean, it's all within the context of like, this is good because Obama reads him and hopefully crafts
and also
to
put that even to greater context, one, he was hired by Jeffrey Goldberg, who was a prison guard in Israel, and you know, very pro-Israel. And also in his reparations piece that really brought him to fame, he mentions Israel as a positive example for how reparations can be done.
Which he apologized for.
Right.
Yes, yeah. So that's growth on that front. But like, so it's helpful that someone like Coates is talking about Israel as an apartheid state. That's, you know, to get the change.
And see, this is where that dogmatic shit that happens on the left kind of like almost works against us. Yes, we know that there is a right-wing government in Israel that does bogus shit. We know that. But nobody's hands in that conflict is clean. Nobody's hands in the whole region of that conflict is clean. And goddamn, which I heard a quote, which is just truthful and unapologetically right. When elephants fight, the grass gets stampled. Nobody is caring at all of the opposite side civilians. Nobody is. And that's the problem. And for you to sit back and say, oh, they called Israel this, oh, they disavowed the Palestinians that. It is old men forcing young men or encouraging young men to fucking fight for their egos. And for you to sit back and say one side is irrevocably evil, nobody's hands in that conflict is clean. And I get it. You want to stand up to whatever force of power that you see is fucking wrong. And this isn't even about a whataboutism. This isn't even about a whataboutism. It is literally old men with their grudges forcing young men to fight for them. And you're picking a side because it sounds nice. But let's go. Let's go.
We need to see, I'm going to take that 100%. But when you listen to his words, there isn't really any conversation about colonialism or capitalism at all, and the structures that led to apartheid or segregation, which he likens to, obviously, segregation and Jim Crow in the United States. But why were those systems in place? Why is Israel strategically placed in that way? Why were Black people subjugated and second-class citizens and continue to be not in the place that they should be due to the systems of racism? It feels like it's difficult to get anti-racist writers to take that next step, at least mainstream anti-racist writers.
Well, because there's money to be made and people really love hearing a certain narrative, right? Look, on my show, if me and Pascal said white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy all the time, we'd have a hell of a lot more viewers. We'd get some nicer messages in the inbox.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna cut it off because we're gonna start getting to a point where it's like, yeah, I agree. Because, yeah, I will say this. If I just sit back and say, you know, white person bad, white person bad, white person bad, if I didn't call out people who I felt that should be better, I would actually have more subscribers. I can ring the bell of the whole cornbread tube. We saw it with Shark, where cornbread tube was trying to incorporate them into their little thing, but because he wouldn't play ball, he still was able to do his own thing. And also they try to, start calling him like, a trash panda. Like, no. And I'm sorry. Yes. I am of the opinion that you won't be accepted for who you are. But you sure damn well better treat me with equal rights. And I know it feels good to be accepted, especially if you're accepted in a warm embrace of somebody you care about. No, I'm on a whole nother subject. Give me more rights. Don't equivalent to, well, they just don't like you because you. As a matter of fact, that's one of the ways they neutered King's message. Oh, it's just about racism. Well, I don't just call Black people the N-word, so I must be making progress. It's not worth it. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, and all that other good shit. Comment if you want to comment. Tell me that how I'm wrong I am. Go tell me to go fuck myself. Which I won't listen to. I just go, sleep with your mom. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Dislike if you want to, and I'm gonna cut this video segment here. Oh wow. I don't know. I think I don't know where all of that came from. I think I'm having fun tonight. And besides that, I think I have lights on me and shit. But I do need to actually fucking cut this soon and give me something to eat. Oh God, yeah. Anyway. Let me see. Do I have any other videos that I want to cover tonight? Not that one. Oh my God. Could have sworn we did the sneaker one last Saturday. You know what? It's coming up to a time. You know what? Let's do some red pill bait. Nah. Let's do some red pill bait. I don't know. It's just like
high value, man.
This has been something where I found success recently, and Lord knows I find it fun to do. Okay. I'm gonna say this. There are certain videos that I will make just 3 or 4 videos in a row about because I find them fun to do. But I don't want you guys to get tired of them. But I find them fucking awesome to do because reasons. Shit. Oh God, this is going. All right, let's do this quickly. Let's do this quickly. All right. All right, let's go. All right. First, we're going to start this video off with saying, hey, if you're watching this video, I want to say thank you for watching. By just clicking on this video, you have actually helped me out. Thank you. And if you're a red pill guy and watching this, I'm going to do something that a lot of people aren't going to do. But however, we're going to watch this video and we're going to break some things down. Something that you may not hear from, the red pill contents you create. Let's go. This is a video that I came across, and I saw the first few minutes of it, the first minute or so, and I said, hey, let's do it. Ex-stripper rapper gives these criteria on what makes a high-value man. Is she wrong? A woman who lists jobs that a high-value man should not do. Oh, this is delicious. Let's go. Oh, she looks thick as hell, but all right, let's go.
High value men that think that it's high value to work for the city. Let me tell you something. You're absolutely wrong, all right? No police officers, no firefighters, no construction workers, no mailmen, no post office. If you consider that a high value man, you're absolutely wrong, okay?
No, we just call that somebody with a stable fucking job. That's what we call it. All right. Cards on the table. Cards on the motherfucking table. Personally, I don't believe there's anything as a high value man, or at least your high value status is not dependent on your income, but the level of which you hold your values to, not your valuables to. That's just me. Full disclosure aside, the fact that she's listing off these people that just have stable jobs, yeah, chick, I don't know what to tell you. They have stable jobs. Is it high value? To me, no. Is what they're trying to say is, are they jobs that are in demand? Yeah, they're jobs in demand. But again, I don't believe in high value. Just that shit to me is stupid, dog. It's really stupid to me. But let's go.
Nothing high value about making $70,000 a year.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got a sister, man, who has gone viral, man, for the same old things, man, that a lot of women go viral for. Having unrealistic expectations, right?
Well, to her, they're not really unrealistic. I know, shocking. It's almost as if it's motherfucking selection and survivor bias. And cool, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you something that, again, you red pill guys don't probably want to hear. But you don't have to date a woman like this. I know, shocking. Not every walking vagina with a life support system attached to it is there for your pleasure. These aren't the only women that's out there. Shocking, I know. Let's go.
So she's pretty much just showing how one of these stereotypical sisters are, right? You got to be able to.
No. She's not stereotypical. You're falling for the shit that she's falling for too. Dog. There are plenty of women who like to touch my people, who like men that don't have these standards. Plenty of them. Plethora. A gaggle. A cornucopia. And I'm sorry. It's not, it is just biased. But let's go.
Provide this, gotta be able to provide that, gotta be able to provide this, gotta be able to provide that. If you ain't got this, you can't have me. And it's like, okay, what are you wanting, right? What are you wanting? Is what you want going to have the betterment for both of us, right? Is what you want going to make sure I'm in a good position and you are in a good position? No, right? Because once again, when you look at this video, right? Don't get me wrong. What she said in the first part of the video, she has some truth to it, right? She has some truth to it. Let's just be honest. You guys, you men right now that are 35 and that are 40 watching this video, wherever job that you're working in right now, would you be okay with going back down and working at McDonald's? Would you be okay with that?
No, because I fucking hate people. Like, seriously? No. If it was paying all of my bills, if it was, oh, you make 60 grand a year, 70 grand a year, I would consider it. But there is some shit that I won't do because I fucking hate people. I know coming from a fucking leftist, that's weird, but yeah, no. Face-to-face customer service, fuck no. I don't have the patience for it right now because I will tell somebody in a polite, not nice, a polite way of how to fucking talk to me. And then we get into fights. Do I think somebody who flips fucking burgers is beneath me? No, they call those people chefs. The fuck? Oh, it's just worse because it's for a fast food chain. Fuck you. If I was, fit enough to do it, and then have, because I worked for 13 years in fucked up ass office chairs, would I be a mailman? Fuck yes. Because I like outside. Well, no, I wouldn't be a mailman. I'll tell you why. I fucking hate the cold, but I love walking outside. I know, weird, right? Fuck. It's nothing beneath you. It's to work a job. Fucking garbage man? All right. Fuck this. Let the bankers all fucking go on strike for fucking 6 months. Shit won't really happen. But let the trash men go on strike for 6 motherfucking days. Yo ass is fucked. You think they won't? You think it won't? So no job is beneath you. But again, I don't see people as high value. But let's go.
No man would. I don't even think any man would be okay with going down as a manager unless if they're going down and they're working in corporate at McDonald's, right? But for her, she's saying fast food restaurant. Actually, I ain't even gonna say too much. Let's go ahead and jump into the video.
The list of jobs.
Again, fuck. As much as I like cooking, if I was motherfucking shit, let me have a job, manage a restaurant where I can cook and I'm not stressing about money. Fuck yeah. Man. Hey, yo, I made this shit up. Tell me how it tastes. Yo, it's this new meal plan that I got. Tell me how it tastes. Oh, I'm not dominating over somebody. It doesn't make me feel high value. So the fuck what? This is the shit that I don't get. I don't need to rule over somebody to feel important to myself. I don't need to. What makes me feel important is the fact that I'm me. I am him. I'm Himocles. I am the him. And nobody can take that away from me. Not some ex-stripper or rapper that says, you need to be this. Okay, cool. Suck a dick. Yeah, I get how that makes sense, but doesn't make sense. But that's not my inherent value. To quote a recent video game, one must learn how to master thyself. Talking about high value, you get like, no. Fuck. Let me run a restaurant. Well, I'm not concerned about motherfucking paying the bills. I'm just concerned about making sure I can share good food with people. Fuck yeah. In a moment. But let's go.
jobs that men should not do, especially grown-ass men. If you think that you're a grown-ass man working in a fast food restaurant is okay, something is wrong with you, all right? Leave those jobs to the teenagers. My nephew can't even get a job right now because there's some grown-ass man in his goddamn 40s flipping my goddamn burger.
That's not the problem with the man, you dumb fuck. The problem is with the economy. I know, weird. It's almost as if you have an issue with the fact that certain people can't get other jobs. That's what your main concern should be. But let's go.
Anything in retail, okay? I don't want to see no grown-ass man handing me a dress. Target, Marshalls, like, guys, give it up. Leave the...
Again, just going into it. There is art on my background. That art I did myself. If somebody said, hey, yo, I'm going to make sure you have a retail art store and just sell the shit. Don't have to worry about money. Your bills are paid. You think I would have a fucking issue with that? Less than 1% women think like this, but it's shown in their face. Yeah, of course. But let's go.
These jobs to the kids. Leave these jobs to the teenagers. These are jobs you get in high school, in college. And for you, high value.
So let's go ahead and break that down. Now, once again, she said, hey, man, listen, if you're working at McDonald's, if you're a grown man working at McDonald's, you doing this, you doing that, you ain't doing nothing in life, right? Now, for me, it's a honest work. It's legal work. It's a job where you're going to be getting paid and not having to sit over here and look over your shoulders. How can any woman be upset with any man who is saying, you know what, rather than being a bum, I can just go ahead and just go work for McDonald's. Now, see, here's the thing. She's getting upset with men who are working there, right? She's getting upset with the men who are working there. But let me tell y'all a little story, right? Let me tell y'all.
Before he gets in this story, this is what, as Icon said, this is just red pill, rage fuel. That's all this shit is. It is all, we're going to portray that all women are like this. Yet and still, again, I know some women that would leave motherfucking people that are making six figures for fucking bums. Hello, Melina. But because they make them feel good. I know some women who would, you know, and the joke is fuck Tyrone when they got somebody that's good at home. Like, yeah, no, that's, human beings don't logically break out a calculator and do mental math for, well, this person is the best, this person is the best. Like, that's not how people work. But this red pill rage fuel about, oh yeah, a woman only wants this out of a man, woman wants that out of a man. We saw in that last video that I did is that a lot of these people that look for these type, a lot of these women who look for these types of men, they have an unrealistic outside percentage of what they think is out there. And they're not the only ones. These red pill motherfuckers are looking at it the same goddamn way. But let's continue.
A little story for all these women, man, I want to sit up here and say, oh man, yeah, man, she preaching, she this, she that. I know a man, right? In his freaking 50s. Got 2 kids. Get what I'm saying? Got 2 kids. Now, once again, he's in his 50s. I believe he had got his master's degree, so he had something behind him. But the thing was, he was out of a job, right? He was out of a job. Now, here's one thing I can say about us men, is that pride is going to be, for a lot of us, our downfall, right? Because once again,
ask Zuko that. Oh, Avatar reference. I'll go ahead.
Man, us men are very prideful. So this man, you sitting over here, man, you got your kids, you got your wife, right? Sitting over here struggling. But because the jobs that you have in your field are not willing to hire you right this moment, you said, you know what, hey, so instead of going out to go look for a good job until you get the job that you really want, he said, man, no, I'm just sitting on my ass and not doing anything. Now, y'all do understand, as a man, you not working and you have a family, it's only going to look bad. It's only
Okay, so I hate this. Okay, cool. You know what? I'll say it like this. When you have a family, it should be everybody's responsibility that's an adult to make sure that family is taken care of. Yes, as a man, when I was married, it was important that I actually worked. And the times that I didn't have a job, it was pressure on it. But not because I was a man, it's because I was an adult that had bills to pay. To further get rid of this whole men are expected these sometimes unrealistic, expectations, or these harsh expectations, you have to drop the whole thing of only a man needs to be quote unquote shamed for not taking care of the family. Sometimes as a man, you actually can be more helpful with supporting the family in the home. Sometimes it requires you to go to work. But you have to, guys, you have to let this shit go about your manhood. It's about how much money you make. Your manhood is being dependable, reliable, being there for people, being strong. Notice it says nothing about what the fucking size of your penis is, or if you have a functioning one. Being an adult is what you should strive for, not the machismo of, oh yeah, I'm a man and I can tell people what the fuck to do. That's childish. And those of us who had to live through experiences that you have yet to go through, understand when a bill is due, the fucking rent or the mortgage is due, it doesn't give a shit of how good you can fuck, how long your dick is, or how strong you are. What they care about is their motherfucking money. But let's continue.
Only ever going to look bad. So not only are you out of a job, right? You're not even willing to go out here and go get a job to at least bring some money home, right? Now you're putting all that burden on that woman. But see, here's the thing, right? Look at this. He's in a lose-lose situation, right? When it comes down to women like these sisters, right? She's just showing how she's a stereotypical sister, right?
She's not stereotypical. Dog, I have women on my TL, both X and fucking Facebook, that what they just want is somebody to fuck them, cuddle them, and give them booty rubs and head pats. They got everything else. I mean, like, fuck. All right, listen. But again, maybe because I'm in my 40s now, that a lot of these women have done their growing up. But let's go.
Ratchet, like O'Shea Jackson say, weaving and sandling it up, right? So once again, you got this guy, he's not even willing to go out and go make no money. So once again, he's in a lose-lose situation. So you go out here, you go work for McDonald's.
I just realized this. This motherfucker is acting as if the guy that she's talking about has already been with her and then lost a job. This motherfucker's making hypothesis on top of hypothesis. It's just really fucking crazy, but let's go.
You go work for Wendy's or whatnot. Women are gonna sit over here and say he's still a bum. If you don't go out and go get a job, oh, he's a bum. He don't even want to support his family. It will always be a lose-lose situation when it comes down to these type of women. When it comes down to modern women. So when it comes down to
no, it's not. Oh my god, these that's like, oh, she's an Instagram model and she's mad because I'm not a motherfucking Saudi millionaire. Like the fuck? Even Gen Z dating retail is normal. Exactly. Oh God, let's go.
Today's women swallow pride, right? And this is one thing I can say about a lot of us men. We have to learn how to swallow our pride, and a lot of times we have to swallow our pride. Working at McDonald's, that's an honest living. If that's the only thing that you can, if that's the only job that you can get right now, if that's the only gig you can get right now, you have to take it. Right, you have to take it. No matter what a woman says, you have to take it, because at the end of the day, it's still an honest living. $500 is better than $0 at the end of the week.
if they only want you while you're on top, they won't be there when you crash. But a woman who is with you at your worst will still be there when you're doing great. No, and that's the truth. And you know what? There are times where there are women that will be with you when you're worse, and when you're doing better, and they lose interest. All that being said is that you should know the person that you're trying to fucking date or fuck or at least spend some time with. It is okay. And you know what? I want to be very honest with you. And this is just I've never had a problem from when I was broke. Fuck, I'm broke now. I barely have enough money to pay my bills, or that's why I do YouTube by liking and subscribing and helping out the channel, or selling my art. But there are a multiple of women, and I'm not saying I'm fucking all of them. I'm saying there are multiple women who enjoy just spending time with me, be it talking on the phone, being exchanging like text message. It is just because I'm me, I am him. And you can be you and you can be him yourself. It has nothing to do with money. What they really want, and even if you're not fucking them, is cuddles, booty rubs, and head pats. I am so serious with that. There are so many women, and maybe because I may be showing my bias, but what they want is, some acceptance of who they are. That's it. Companionship. That's just a thing. But let's go. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? So once again, we cannot allow women to try to bait men into thinking that, you know what, hey man, well, working at McDonald's as a 30-year-old, as a 40-year-old is just not something that's just going to suffice. Granted, to some degree, it might not, but at the end of the day, I'd rather go out here and say, at least I'm working towards something, at least I have an honest paying job, than sitting over here, man, hey, well, you know what, I'm not gonna work here, man, because I'm too good for that. That's
okay, so this is what problem, and like socialist capital alert, right? It's good to have a shit job, and besides the whole ride and grind bullshit, even with having a shit job, you can actually, I wish we actually paid people more, work people less, so they can actually work and develop talents other than the shit jobs. Imagine, if you will, somebody who had a shit job that worked 4-5 hours a day, but in enough to take care of themselves and then train on something that's more beneficial, be it programming or be it doing art or motherfucking fabricating metalwork. Do you know how many people just like, I don't weep for the motherfucking Einsteins. I weep for the people who could have been Einsteins but get left in shitty places. But let's continue.
That's what that man did, right? The story I just told y'all, that's what that man did. He didn't want to go out and go work at McDonald's, even though, man, that it was a job that was easily hiring. He has all the qualifications. You probably could jump in straight as a manager, right? Straight as a manager. You're probably not gonna be making a whole lot of money, but once again, you're still bringing some money to the table. But you're not leaving all of the burden to your wife, because as a man, you can't do that, right? As a man, you can't do that. So I say, once again, you have men who are in McDonald's. Granted, if you are a man, right? If you are a man right now in your 30s and 40s, would you work at McDonald's? Every man will universally say no, because we know, man, that's not a job, man, that is conducive for a 30 or 40-year-old guy.
No, I've clearly actually stated I wouldn't work because I've worked face-to-face retail. Now, fuck that. It's not even because I think and again, I said because I think it's lesser. No, I literally don't have the patience anymore. I barely have the patience for a call center work. But that's just me. Again, if it was the shit that paid the bills, fuck, yeah, of course. I would actually want to have my own restaurant, not in the sense of power, but it'd give me a little bit more freedom to just be as fucking weird and fucking helpful and as fucking like experimental as I actually can. But again, that's just me. But let's go.
At least not in the actual fast food restaurant itself, flipping burgers, taking orders. I mean, for the people that's over here saying, oh, people understand that you do have a lot of older folks saying, well, do you want to be working at McDonald's for the rest of your life? We all universally know working at McDonald's is not the route to go for any adult. So that's why I say to some degree, I get where she's coming from. But once again, the delivery, sis, right? The delivery. And then on top of that, you're the stereotypical sister, right? You're the stereotypical sister that's all about materialistic shit. You're a sister who is all about materialistic things, right? Gotta be materialistic.
Literally, the title of the video is ex-stripper rapper. Like, again, this is just red pill fuel. It's not typical sister shit. It's not. You're going after a specific type of chick. And even if it was just about the looks, I know some goddamn beautiful women. Great titties. Awesome thick thighs. Got a little bit of a fupa, but that's where you lay your head at. And they don't have these standards. You are looking at the shit to piss you off. But you know what? Hey, you incel motherfuckers that are so mad that women are acting like this, that you're not going after women, cool, need more from me. Shit, I'm poly. They really enjoy me too. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Dislike if you dislike. Leave a comment. Tell me how I'm wrong or how I'm talking about. Yeah, no, go ahead and do that. Thank you when you do that. Anyway, we're going to cut this video segment here. Peace. Oh, God. Thank you guys for watching so much. If you haven't done so, you watching a live stream, go ahead and hit that like button. It's been fun tonight. I just didn't expect it to be this long, but it's been fun tonight. Obviously I'm going to try to put some clips out for the remainder of the week. Yeah. Probably go fix me something to eat. I had a little something before streams, but I want to actually, probably fix me a BLT. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Remember, as always, touch titties, always with consent, and take us away, Richard.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah. I'm probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other, and people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white, I'm going to use this.
Right, absolutely.
Get this job, I'm hungry, But, and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but...
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you're like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe...
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, it just gets on you and it starts
eating. The system levels them.
Pretty soon it's all gone.
Is that what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes.